Hey everyone, this is my match reaction to Arsenal 1, Watford nil at home at the Emirates. And you know what? Early on into the game, Watford kind of took the intensity and the sting out of the game. And we weren't really forcing much onto them. We let them kind of take the intensity out of the game. We had that early shot on goal, which was ruled offside because of Aubameyang's touch on the ball. Early on into the game. We tried to get into the game. We really had the intensity and pace and momentum, not so much as the Leicester game away from home. And I don't feel like we're on that level yet to easily break teams apart and be like a threat as what the likes of a Liverpool or a Chelsea or a Man City would do. But I'll look at it in this way that we limited Watford to what they were able to do, and we didn't really make them carry much of a threat because of how well we were set up defensively. Our defensive back line today deserves a lot of credit yet again. Watford weren't able to break us down as much in the back, and our defense put that shift in today and put in the work rate. In terms of our forwards line, that's where we really lacked, and it wasn't really the greatest of games or performances from us. At the end of the day, we did scrape the 3 points which we needed, and we deserved the 3 points. Today, we should have made much more awareness and much more of return, changing our attacking threats into goals today, converting that. And, although we were good in transitions, we didn't really put much effort into the final third. Aubameyang, it wasn't really one of his greatest performances. He looked really out of place today and looked out of it today. He made some really poor touches, especially for the Saka misallowed goal. His touch was really poor, missing the penalty itself. And because of the bad first touch, it ruled off the Bukayo Saka goal, and the goal was disallowed. And Odegaard, when he came on, he made a really good shift in. And Aubameyang also tried to steal Odegaard's shot on goal and nearly stole it off Odegaard. Although we were good defensively and we scraped the 3 points, at the end of the day, that's what matters. And I will take the 3 points at home to Watford. But going on away after the international break to play a team like Liverpool that knows how to play us tactically and has history beating us home and away, we need to convert our chances and we need to build on momentum and intensity into the game. And, being 1-0 up early on, into the game and the goal disallowed with Aubameyang missing his penalty, it's good that at halftime, Arteta did have a talk with the players and said, look, you guys need to stop inviting pressure onto you guys, and you guys need to stop sitting back. Stop inviting Watford to get back into shape. And, we controlled most part of the first half and sustained pressure well, and we deserved the win overall, but we screwed up our chances to take the lead. And, Sambi Lokonga 2 times into the game, he had dispositioned passes and misplaced passes caught out of possession, which Ben White made up for. And, at those times where Sambi was vulnerable, it could have easily led to Watford goals. Notable mentions goes out to Ainsley Maitland-Niles today, considering we didn't have Thomas Partey because he was out of the squad. Ainsley really did put in the shift today and earned his position, and he really lived up to the role that we needed him to be in that midfield. He made some really good presses through the edge of the Watford box. He put in a good shift today and even set up that Saka goal. Although it was disallowed, he made some very nice touches in the middle and deserves a lot of credit when and where it's due. It seems like he doesn't get a lot of mention or praise as much. And today he really fit in the shoes of Thomas Partey. Considering Partey was out today, it was a game for Ainsley to step up with a player he doesn't really play much with, Sambi Lokonga. So it worked well for him. And considering Ainsley doesn't play 90 minutes week in and week out, he did well today and deserved the man of the match from Sky Sports. Smith Rowe, another player I've been speaking about from the start of the season onwards. Arsenal's player of the season so far and one of our Hail End products, Emil Smith Rowe. Every single week he plays for the badge and brings 110% on the pitch and plays at a better level than the rest of our squad, living up to par with the Arsenal name and the badge. And, he times his runs well. He got a beautiful goal, but a great pass from Ben White. And today, when Watford were even on the counterattack, he managed to intercept the ball well. Good timing, good pace, and deviating the ball away from the Watford players and preventing them from scoring a goal, he really looked like he was being a threat to them, and he deserves a lot of credit, even though he doesn't do those flashy kind of tricks and step overs. He really stepped in, covered a lot of ground territorially, and brings us up on the pitch, and does a lot of work on the back too. He done well today, put in the work today, and yet again being consistent and showing in that work rate and effort on the pitch. Beautiful pass from Ben White leading to the goal, but Ben White overall today in that defensive center back role, he had done really well. Our defensive back line today, with Tomiyasu as well and Gabriel, done really well today, and it's no doubt that the position we spent the most improving was our defensive back line, and that seems to be working for us so far. The partnership with Ben White and Gabriel is something that I've been seeing a lot more of, and I like to see. So hopefully, Emil Smith Rowe, the only way from here is upwards and onwards. Maintain that consistency, maintain that performances, and the only way you're gonna see is upwards and onwards from here. Tomiyasu was solid at the back today. A good performance from him overall. I'm glad about the 3 points at home, but it wasn't our best game. We scrapped the 3 points, which is what we needed going into the international break. But more importantly, going on to play a team like Liverpool, we cannot put in this kind of shift today. We really need to be on our best and be on our A game like we did at Leicester, away from home. Now, Nuno Tavares, he has a lot more to his game in terms of taking men down and being more problematic inside areas that are threatening, and he did show that he was more of a threat today, and he done well today. But more importantly, Saka, it's one of his better games today overall. It's a shame that his goal was disallowed, but he did put in a work rate today and did really well today before he was subbed off. I was impressed with his performance. In the second half, we did really show that we wanted it more and built a lot more momentum-wise. Even regardless of the penalty miss or the disallowed goal, we were hungry for it, and we showed a lot of passion on the pitch today, but we could have been better in the final third overall. And one thing I will say, if Ainsley Maitland-Niles, if Thomas Partey is not able to play, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, hopefully he maintains this kind of level of performance and be consistent week in and week out. The games that he does play alongside Partey or Sambi Lokonga, hopefully he turns up and does that same work rate that he did today. Rightfully so, he deserved the man of the match and filled in so well for the injured Thomas Partey. Arteta, credits to him. He tactically changed it in the second half, made Smith Rowe play up front, cut in deeper to get the ball through, and which was great to see as a manager-wise. Brilliant goal by our Hale end product. More importantly, credits to Arteta for changing the tactics up in the halftime. I felt like those substitutions could have been made earlier on, with Aubameyang being subbed off as he was so poor and so out of the game today. Could have brought in the likes of Gabriel Martinelli early on into the game. But, like I said, Emil Smith Rowe's vision and his positional awareness, if he can continue that week in and week out into our later fixtures on into the season after the international break, the only way for him is upwards from here. And it's really great to see our end product grow so well in front of our eyes. And, one thing I will say is after the international break, going on to play a team like Liverpool likes to play high line pressing football and knows how to break teams apart, knows how to read teams easily. We can't get away with this. We can't get away with scraping a 1-0 lead and sitting back and inviting pressure onto us. So hopefully onto the Liverpool game, we do get our tactics right and do not invite pressure onto us. The other thing I will say is Ben White didn't make it easy game for Watford to break through. But more importantly, Ben Foster in goal. He made some really good saves today and deserves credit for the Watford side. It could have been 4-0, 5-0 if Ben Foster didn't make those saves, especially the Gabriel header, the last shot by Sambi Lokonga, and the Aubameyang penalty as well. So Ben White Ben White and Ben Foster do deserve a lot of credit where it's due. And it could have been worse for Watford had Ben Foster not made those saves. We would have been 4-0, 5-0 up if we converted our chances to goals as well. in that first half. I do want to talk about the mix up between Ramsdale and White in that second half. King had an empty net to aim at, which was really scary because we could have conceded there. And it felt like it was more of a miscommunication with Ben White, as he felt like Ramsdale was so upfront that Ramsdale could have easily cleared it. And you could see that Ben White froze a bit. He didn't know what to do. And I'm so grateful that didn't go in. Again, we could have conceded there and only got a draw at home. We needed the 3 points more than ever before. Considering the international break is around the corner, we do need to pick up points whenever other teams drop points. We need to capitalize on those gains. But it felt like Ben White lost concentration at certain times, and we definitely can't be doing that against a team like Liverpool, who's in full form. And it felt like Ben White had a poor clearance there. Felt like Ramsdale, because he came so close to the touchline, it should have been wiser for Ramsdale to just clear it off the bat, and should have easily cleared it instead of waiting for someone to decide that. So it just felt like a miscommunication there. But if that had led to a goal, we would be having a different conversation here. So thank God we got lucky there. The poor officiating overall in the game. Watford had committed a lot of fouls, but had fewer yellow cards than us. Very questionable in that sense, in terms of officiating wise. But more importantly, we're now 10 games unbeaten, and I will give credit to Mikel Arteta when and where it's due. At the start of the season, the way we struggled to pick up points, we dropped points week in and week out to other teams. We're starting to build consistency and build a foundation. We were once called relegation candidates, Arsenal, and now I'm seeing Arteta starting to build structure, starting to build foundation for us, and starting to build a formation that works week in and week out, knows the players to play and knows which players play well at which position, not playing players out of their position, and also playing a like-for-like replacement if a player is out injured. And, I will give him effort when and where it's due, but also I will give him credit because, it seems like he's starting to put some effort in, and these players are starting to put a lot more ambition and play for the badge and truly showing willingness on and off the pitch. A fair play to the player and the managers. So far into the season, long may it continue in our unbeaten run. We're now 10 games unbeaten, 8 games unbeaten in the Premier League itself. And, relegation candidates Arsenal are now doing so well consistently. But more importantly, hopefully we maintain that after the international break, as we have some tough fixtures coming thick and fast, home and away. Up the Arsenal, and I will see you guys for the match reaction of Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield. Take care, everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.